Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. It's Monday the 28th of June. We have some new mods, we have some updates, but what I'm also including, we had some mods yesterday on Sunday. It's very unusual. I don't normally check the mod hub over the weekend because it doesn't often happen that we get mods on a Sunday, so I'll include them. The updates are as follows. As is usual, top left, we have the map Masna Dolina by Puma145, the Massey Ferguson 20 series by Peter J, the Case IH AFS Connect Steiger series by Carl Farms and KMN Modding, the John Deere 9RT series by KrkzModding, the Profi Line Single Axle by Landmensch, the Gruber Lizard 3M by KRM Design, and the 19038 ITRunner by Pepe978. That was an update on Sunday. We're going to look at that in just a moment as well. But those have all been updated today. Right in front of me, we have got the American Fence Pack. These are going to be kind of mixed up. I'm going to start off with these. I normally do placeables first and everything else. So, American Fence Pack, 1.09 megabytes download. These are one slot each. I'm going to say OKUSEDMODS this time. I keep saying OKUs. We've got single gate, double gate. As you can tell, they're off the ground because they're supposed to be used in conjunction with the fence panels and the fence posts. The double, there's no sound to these, as you can tell. And then we've got the vinyl versions of the same ones, single gate, double gate, panel and post. Like I say, one slot each. You'll find these under placeables and decoration. So the gate is 150, the large gate, double gate, is 300, fence is 100, and the post is 25. Then you've got the vinyl versions of those as well. The actual posts and end sections are fairly thick, so lining them up will be a little bit easier than some of the panels and things we have. Still a little bit tricky on console for doing short section things like this as well, but it is what it is. That's by OKUSEDMODS. Now, Sunday's mods. One of the updates we just talked about was this, the 19038. Now, the 19038 was a regular lorry cab, semi-cab. This ITRunner version was added as part of the update, so we got this ITRunner back. So as a new mod, what came out on Sunday was the ITRunner pack, and it's got a flatbed bale trailer, it's got a skip one and a tipper. Now the tipper has a configuration you can use it for transporting vehicles as well if you want to. I think this did have the option, it did say vehicles or bales as an option. So the ITRunner tipper pack, 6.39 megabytes download by Pepe978. 3 slots for the tipper, 3 lots for the skip, slots, and 2 for the floor container, I think it's referred to as. Now, it does also say under that, and I suppose it's just making sure you're kind of people that are aware. Pack of 3 containers for ITRunner usable with truck or trailer with lifting arm, which is great. Now, it does say compatibility with all vehicles with a lifting arm is not guaranteed. It requires, now I say Iveco, local football club used to be sponsored by them actually. It could be Iveco. Yeah, anyway. This is the required mod, so the updated version of this is what works perfectly with these. It doesn't guarantee these ITRunner backs will work with every ITRunner hook, lift, vehicle or trailer. It's just specifying that. There are so many out there, there are so many to test, it's almost impossible. Now, you'll find the first of these under tools, under trailers. So the tipper container is $7,000, 3 slots. The skip is 7,500. Also 3 slots. 12,000 litre capacity for the tipper container, 16,500 for the skip container, but we do have some options within that. So the tipper, we can change the main colour to anything on that palette, like that. Now it says Cassone and then Calico Veicoli. I think that's the one. If you want it for vehicle transport, you put it on that one. That one is for the 12,000 litre capacity, as far as I can tell. Then the skip is just the skip. You can change the colour, but that's 16,500 litres regardless what colour you go for. And then the bailed one is under baling technology. The floor container, 6,500. Slot counts on 2 goes down to 1. We can change the main colour again to anything on that pallet. But then we've got bale, or again, Calico Veicoli, which is for carrying vehicles. And I mean, it works like an ITRunner, but I don't really know what else to say. The bale one has obviously got straps on it, loading and unloading. There's a nice smooth animation, but then it is designed to work with this particular ITRunner. This one, I just want to double check the tip on this one, whether it gives you the option for tip side left or right, or whether it's just back. Pretty sure it's just tip side back. So yeah, unloads here is rear tip. I wasn't sure because it had the side panels and I didn't know if they would... so always worth a check, isn't it? So that's the ITRunner pack by Pepe978. But what we also got on Sunday was the Iveco 190/48 pack. This one's 29.97 megabytes to download. These are 19 slots on console for the first one, and then the slot count will reduce. There's a bale option. There's a smaller fill container option, or the larger container option, as you can see just there. I said this in one of the other mods we had a while ago. That reminds me of the old coal lorries we used to... I mean, that's going back when I was tiny. My nan and granddad used to have the old coal thing, bunker in the back garden. The old coal lorries used to look a bit like that. Same sort of colours as well. That's what it reminds me of. But they are very nicely made, very nicely detailed. The sounds of them are very good too. One thing I will say for the larger one, we'll have a look at it in just a second. There is a cover option, and there's a bit of clipping when it's full. The actual what the product inside clips through the cover. It's a minor thing, but I point them out because people want to know. So under vehicles and trucks, the 190/38 that we originally had, that's the 190/38 ITRunner that was the update. That's 25 slots. But the actual new one, this one here, the 190/48, 95 grand for the base model, 480 horsepower. We can change the main colour to anything on that pallet. Let's say we go for the grey fog, it says, but quite like a creamy beige colour. We've got the option for bale loading wagon, 15,000 litre capacity or 30,000 litre capacity are the options. So that's the 3 variants. Then we've got decals 1 or B, C, D, and A is with nothing. Actually, probably better off with a different colour on that because it will show them off a little bit better. Let's go for blue, for example. So, decals A, B, C, D, then back to that one again. Then you've got without spoiler, with the sort of scalloped spoiler, or the standard. I mean, that's how I'm referring to them. That's not the names of them. The 3 options there. And then we've got without sun visor or with sun visor. Now, because I've got the 30,000 litre option, you've got the option for cover, yes or no. That comes in white. There's no option to change the colour on that. Whatever colour vehicle you have, it's always a white cover. But if I go back up and we put that back down to capacity 15,000 litres, there's no option for a cover. It's only on the 30,000 litre option that we have the cover. Let's jump in and start it up because it does sound very nice. Horn, lights, interior, nicely detailed. Now, if we go through the light options, we have an interior light too that comes on. I like that. For the sleeper cab at the back, I suppose, at night. So that's the bale version. As with most bale trailers and things with straps, you can do them all from in cab or you can do them out of cab manually. Turn off. So we'll go to the double. The other one is the 15. You can see the clipping on the top. It's a small thing, but it is there. Unloading. It's a fairly slow animation, but smooth. Back opens and away we go. But the other thing I wanted to check, now I'm stuck. Brilliant. Come on. There we go. We're off of there. Let me just double check. Yeah, we haven't got a tip left or right on this side. This is just a rear tip only. Now if we put the cover back on, still a little bit of clip in there where some of the stuff's come out, but not as bad. But yeah, it's a nice pack, that. I like the vehicles, like the sounds of them. That's by FS19. So that's kind of Sunday's mods. We've done the fence pack, that's one of today's, but these are all Sundays. Moving on from there then, we have got the Lizard-famed 5-spring plow by KrkzModding, 4.55 megabytes download, 4 slots on console. It's just over 2 meters. This will allow you to create fields as well, should you wish to do so. It's got fingered mould boards, so it's mould boards, but they're sort of slatted. I know the finger boards, I think they refer to them as, as you can see, they look like fingers. This you'll find under tools and plows. 15,000, 2.6 meters, requires 100 horsepower, runs at 9 miles per hour. We can't change the color or anything, you just get it in red. And it will plow. That's what it's designed to do. You watch it now cultivate or something just to make me look like an idiot. I know we're ploughing. Nice animations on there. I mean, you probably don't want it to. That's what they call those, like the shear bolts, isn't it? If you hit something, or the shear springs, it's supposed to be so it can bounce up out the way if it hits something solid. I think you might want it to be a little bit firmer than that, because otherwise you're not going to necessarily get the right depth. But that's animation that comes with it, and like I say, you can create fields on PlayStation, L1 and Triangle, and then you can head off and extend your fields, create your own, however you want to go about it. That's the Lizard-famed 5-spring plow by KrkzModding. Next up, we have got this. This is the PSKU8. This is 6.88 megabytes download, 5 slots on console. This is by Grek43. Now, this is also a plow, but it's a straight-on plow, so to speak, rather than the you know what I mean? It's kind of straight across the back, and it's an angle that way rather than anyway. It's I'll say 4.5 or 4.8 meters, so not a bad size, but it comes with a couple of options. You can have it with wheels or well, let's have a look at the options, and then we'll have a look at what it does, because it's a little bit different to normal, I would say, personally. So, the PSKU8, it's only 4,920 for a 4.8 metre. Requires 210 horsepower, I suppose because of the width, and it will run at 7 miles per hour. Options, we can change the main colour to anything on that palette at all, like that. Now, at the moment, it's got rollers, so you've got these like solid rollers on there. We can change that to wheels, so if you want to have wheels on there, you can. So at the moment, that's a plough, but then you can have with rollers, so it adds rollers on the back. Now, we have had ploughs before, where you have these options. We've had cultivators that have them, and you know, various different things you can add on that don't seem to really do anything. On this one, it actually does, though, because if I run it in its standard configuration as just a plough. Now, does it make any difference in game? No, not really. But if you want that perfect seed bed, so at the moment we're ploughing, and the same thing, we can create fields, L1 and triangle, we can go off and we can create our own fields, and it's ploughing very nicely at 4.8 meters. Just, you know, I didn't show you the other one, but I think probably by now people are kind of used to the fact that you can. So we can create our own fields, extend whatever you want to do by allowing create fields. Turn that off so I don't create a field on a bit I don't want to. So the version that I've got where I've put the rollers on the back, it will still plough. So a little bit like a subsoiler, it will plough, but it will give you the cultivated look. So it's kind of a full seed bed preparation in one go. So if you prefer to do your seeding on a smoother seed bed, and again it doesn't matter because in game you can seed with a direct drill, you don't have to plough or cultivate. But if you plough and you don't like the fact it's really bumpy and you want to put it down onto a flatter seed bed, with the rollers on the back, it will still plough, but it will cultivate over the back as well. So in essence, it's the same piece of machinery. It's doing the same job. It's just that difference between the two aesthetic looks, really, I guess, because you can seed onto that and you can seed onto that. If you haven't got a direct drill, it doesn't matter, but obviously that's, in the real world, what you're kind of looking for, rather than seeding directly onto that. But yeah, it's nice. Not bad at all. That's the PSKU8 by Krk43. Next, we're going to have a look at... we might as well do these, they're right in front of us. We have got the Strautmann Streublitz PS pack. This is by Agrar Modding, 17.15 megabytes download, 12 slots each. We have 3 in the pack. Different capacities, a few different options for look. We've got a 21,600 litre, we've got a 23,000 litre, and we've got a 28,300 litre. So different capacities. Now, we have got, I'm sure, is it the standard in-game Streublitz? We've got a few modded ones that do manure and fertiliser. Let me just double check. That one just does manure. Maybe it's a modded one I'm thinking of. Yeah, could be a modded one. So, these will just do manure. They don't do manure and... it's not fertiliser, lime I was going to say. These just do manure. So, the PS2201 at 21,600 litres, the PS2401 at 23,000 litres, and the PS3401 at 28,300. Now we can change the spread widths on these as well. I think I've got one set at 12, one at 18 and one at 24 at the moment, just to see the difference in spread widths. Horsepower requirements, 170, 185 and 220 respectively. Options available, and these are the same options on each one. We have got on the back, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit, we've got old square bumper. We can have old round bumper, so that's the old model, square and round bumper. Then we've got new, so you've got the new decals. It changes a little bit, takes the hazard things off the back as well. Changes a few little configurations here and there. So new round bumper or new square bumper. Options for tyres, we've got Trelleborg or Michelin, but there's nothing within those, it's just Trelleborg or Michelin. Then we've got our working width options, so we can go for a 12 metre, 15, 18, 21 or 24, depending on what size farm you've got. If you don't want to overspread, if you've got smaller fields, or you can take it into your workshop and adjust as you want. That is entirely your prerogative, and the options are the same on all 3. So what we'll do, open it up. Does have lighting on all those parts, so you can see nice out the back, nicely out the back in the dark. I'm sure this one was set at 12. Nice animation, spread into 12, no problem at all. I'm sure the next one was 18. And the last one I did 24. The last one will show up probably a little bit more because on the already cultivated soil. There you go. Much bigger spread width. Or wider. Bigger, wider. So there we have it. That's the Strautmann Streublitz PS pack by Agrar Modding. Which brings me on to, I think it's the last of the mods for today. Or today and Sunday. And it's this one over here. It has me a little bit perplexed, I'll be honest. This is the Z234. This is the Rake and Shaker. This is by HajstelMods. 4.28 megabytes download, 3 slots on console. So we have got this section here, which you'll find under Tedders. Then you've got this section here, which is the limiter, which you'll find under Windrowers. So my initial thought was, right, I'm extrapolating from that this will TED just as it is. The limiter limits the TEDing and turns it into a windrower because that part was found under Windrowers. Now I'm still think that's the case. However, using this without the limiter, it kind of TEDs, but kind of doesn't. It seems a little bit hit and miss. I'm not too sure why. So, like I say, under TEDers, you'll find the Z234, 1,200, 2 meters wide, only requires 22 horsepower, so you can put it on the back of the really small tractors, you know, the older ones. We're at 9 miles per hour. Options available, we can change the rim colour to anything on that palette. We can change the design colour to a variation on sort of yellowy gold. And then the main colour, again, anything on that palette. Let's go for a slightly darker green so you can see it. Like that. Those are your options. If we come back out and we go down to Windrowers, that's where you find the limiter, the Z234. Only 100, that's only, I think that's 1 slot anyway. The other one was 3 slots, this one's 1 slot. We can change the main colour again to match if you want to, or colour coordinate. So what we'll do, let's run it without, and you'll kind of see what I mean. So we'll raise it for transport, then we lower it into position. Now it could be, because it's designed for much smaller tractors, maybe it needs to sit a little bit lower, maybe. I'm trying to think of why it might not be working quite how I thought it would. So if we turn it on, you see that? We've got hay. But it's not catching everything. What's going to work now, look. Just to really annoy me. Right, now it's not catching everything. It's still taking the grass from here, you notice, but it's not putting anything out. Then every now and again you seem to get like a big, there you go, like a big lump comes out, but not all the time. Then there's loads comes out, and then nothing, and then loads. So it could be the size of tractor. It could be it needs to be a little bit lower to the ground. But as you can see, we are getting bits of hay coming out. So in this configuration, as is, it's technically a tedder, but it is missing a few bits here and there. So if you want to ted and have it all as hay, it is kind of mixed in with grass, which means collecting it can then be a little bit tricky. Now, if I decide then to grab the limiter, which is just here, actually I should lower that down, makes it a little bit easier. If we grab the limiter needs to attach, you can pick it up by hand, the limiter needs to attach just kind of to the back here a little bit. As long as you kind of just put it there, if you let it go like that, it should come up with attached. There we go. Attach limiter. L1 and X opens the limiter up. Now, actually, I wonder. Let me try this again with the limiter closed, but with it turned on. Will it still make hay? Will it just do nothing? It's not doing anything. Okay, that's interesting. So it will kind of make hay without the limiter on at all. With the limiter on, if I open the limiter up, turn it on, it heads, it windrows. So it's windrowing fine, as you can see. It's picking it up, it's chucking it all to one side. It just seems to be when it's in its tedding configuration, it doesn't seem to quite like it as much. So with the limiter on, it won't ted, but it will windrow. So I've tried different ways around of tackling it to see if it was something I was doing, or, you know, it may still be something I'm doing wrong. I can't see how many other ways around I can kind of do it. It's with it on, with it off. So I say with it on, it's just windrowing the grass. With it off, it will ted, but it seems a little bit sporadic, which it doesn't seem to be when it's windrowing. So it makes me think maybe there's just a little bit of an issue with the tedding portion of it. But it's a nice looking bit of kit as well. We've got a few different ones that look like this. There's the SIP ones, and I don't know, we've got a few. So that's the Z234 Rake and Shaker by HajstelMods, and that's it for the mods for today. We haven't got any new maps today, I don't think. I'm still trying to catch up from the other week. But I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.